Pastoralists are used to moving around to wherever the resources happen to be. They have the same aspirations as we all do. They want to have their families. They want to live in security. They want to be able to eat every day. And I dare say that their needs are much, much fewer than ours in the developed world. Pastoralism is a way of life that's based on the opportunistic search for resources. The reaction to that when there's scarcity is to protect what you have. And so there's continuous conflict between pastoralist groups.
The most vulnerable part of the world in terms of climate change is Africa. The Horn of Africa is considered as climate change hotspot. For the last 40 years, you get this recurrent drought, and then you get a lot of floods. Floods in those areas can aggravate the droughts. The soil becomes like a pavement. So what this really means is that you're going to get more persistent droughts in these semi-arid areas.
In times of drought, the populations will move to wherever the resources are. It does trigger conflict quite often. In years of scarcity, they're happening almost every day.
Ani saraganyo ako marakora. Irapanyang. Ikizuri nga kida kanianya. Bit ul bawalu nga ora kanianya. Ba kaya kenchanya musu anga iwaran. Ba kaya na kichanya debi iwaran. Ba na hang. Bikubushani be. Ba na challa. Kiwa gerha. Kira boy Malaysia dena kira boy kira gerha na gerhi chinga na bitwa gerha ka ni boy chali ba now ni koi chuk na kunturo na koi nga aha dali ele ameringa Dua no sabi chini di age menengoy el takakan kaburinya ya kaburinya ada kone no china ya wargarro yo bumir dama hu gikit on chai iri dama hu toni hu age ngakin so ene ana wargarra.
I've lived in East Africa for 11 years. We've had 3 major droughts. We have also minor drought years where there's localized droughts. The populations never have time to recover. We've got increasing variability of rainfall, and that's quite well documented. We see it from year to year, season to season. You can have a heavy downpour in one area and 10 kilometers away, no rain at all. It's not a conjecture, it's not a theory, it's there.
Lele bunin tanangana money ya, amma tang. Hadina jabale ba guru akala ka ba aguru ne tepi le bulu bagu be jine ngi kala pata akala na jana na ngunne ne tawta wa nguma na jana ngila la to kana ibere ni yo rang mare ibere tata inya akoro ni poden ne be mana riya na jo be tuni akala mo ko do la kare ko ko da ne tara akoronya akata je ka to ko to.
Observation which the locals are making is becoming very important. They have been using their indigenous knowledge to adapt to these droughts. They relied mostly on the natural cycles. The seasons were more specific. What you hear from the pastoral communities is that they no longer understand the seasons well. The wind patterns have changed. That is actually becoming a very important aspect of science itself. Some people call it indigenous science.
Nkarlu kalanga atakner to ata perindan tokoko ketaya ku ada tokoko atubuni peji kan karubian en karule je kwara harar banga ipina gari a chemerri akwa kide ku tinga ifudana kwa gari bani gwa kini ngai panyere mo kene tala gari lo ton akorajet aina bala mo ni ya ko mo tarawu jikin de lu chiki bere rebeten ya buni ako mo ya gwa kena re mana kop rukuna to je karem rawu jike che galo bon danger ni ciamat dan artang turgana boni merangnya ye lakaruan bacolo lo unro bo turgana tame tan bacolo lo unro bani ari muni tan e wazana.
Pastoral communities, once it is dry, next thing they are going to do is to move to the marginal areas of the desert. And with time, they are going to overgraze those areas. And that is going to feed back. So those are going to be turned into semi-arid with time. The other thing is population. There are scarce resources, but then the demand is very high. There's serious competition for pasture now, because the grazing areas are getting squeezed.
Arawai to ane pati kongna, ngapa pakadang. Arti ang akor lungui, akoro, yep, riono ringo tungada kane. Ako lakor me turko na iti jeke kana wala nyanga jeke arium. Ariya mere, ngoi kine ti jalonya. Kami ati nyara mutur yang kuni barilonya ka. Jikile ti rubalonya. Kada manga lupuda. Kaya kulupat. Ada manga lup. Bena bong, aja bena bong kwani. Aja to kana bana taparai. Ama kita lejai.
Karena ada kaya nih, lo ini nih kak apa sih aja, aku, ane nabi itu marah ya kak aja, nak anak baru kupuluk nih aku anak aja anak, aku apa anak, rumah pintur kan aja rumah pintur ya aja, aku, gue aja kan, gue aja kongan, gue aja kan, gue aja kongan, kalau ada lu kan itu kalau lu pijan ya lu. Jadi pio ko nchaje ko romete ko nje kane je kada je kanje ngoto ngaje kuluchi aje ko kini nguluka ngichana ang baren aje wa ngoto ngaje yang baren je kane je tuwe ke nchaje ko lojo ko na wa ko dengan dai ayo ai biar robanyu ko ni kamu tun aja ako ko robai na kanje kile chaje ko wanja.
What we're seeing in Kenya, Ethiopia, Somalia are climate change conflicts. They're happening almost every day. We're going to see more of them, and it's going to get worse.
Alo to ne ki boyele boy kaneke ayi yang karun kan kapei na kopana kotera ne arkare mai arkang baren kudongo to nar na ngale nyange ngevi boy ya na kopakana ngutunga dai herka mai
Roba tani ne tangi cha krab roba changa na renga tomone. Ane rong ibereng ni rong roba cha bala ya tawuri ki robo. Araba robo. Edeke akamu cucaki bereng ini, cucaki roba neni. Aja karya evikria.
Patu kara to wana gidi bene. Yani ko gini. Ni dalu ko dang yoram to ngorulu. Kamu maleja, kamu nyo. Ketar to apa ko ngin.
Ala la rimrolu. Abaye ngi ala rimrolu. Te kon lo kolong. Kolong akwara lo kolong ngor to lo kolong ta pa ko.
The Merilia of Ethiopia are staying 15 kilometers inside Kenya. They have stopped our Turkana people from fishing. They have thrown us out of the pastures. We can't access the waters. We have allowed communities to continue fighting, competing over resources without providing security. We cannot continue having a situation where Kenyans are being displaced, are made, refugees in their own country.
We're not yet getting it right in terms of Eastern Africa humanitarian response to drought. The knee-jerk first reaction every time there's a drought, people send food. People are given maize, which you cannot eat raw. You have to cook it. You have to cook it with water, and there's no water. The ways that we've responded to droughts and floods has been almost purely humanitarian. We've not taken a long-term development approach to handling those disasters. Billions of dollars flow into these countries supposedly to humanitarian response. Is it effective? No, because the drought is coming again. We risk doing what Jan Egeland says, saving people's lives today so that they can die tomorrow.
The projections in the coming decades are very clear. We are getting warmer, we are getting drier in those areas. We know this is a global problem. Climate knows no boundary. But while this debate is going on, Africa is suffering now.
You've got to see it to understand the vast disparity between those who are contributing to climate change and those who are having to deal with the impact. We all have a responsibility towards each other. We're all inhabitants of the same earth. They're not asking to become millionaires, they're just asking to survive.
The biggest thing is change of attitude. We have to change the way we do certain things. We really need to focus on regionalizing the problem because the impacts are very unique regionally.
Water is the key to resolving many issues. Will water-based conflicts increase? Certainly. But there's all kinds of different solutions. One of the biggest ones is making the plight of these vulnerable people much more visible to the whole world.